Guys, welcome to The Real Deal and welcome to my channel. My name is Pace Morby and today we're going to be talking about how we're making $125,000 in profit, not revenue, in profit on this one deal. Let's go. All right, guys, so you know how I roll. I want you guys to know the address. You can pull it up and verify yourself that we bought this property for what I said, and we're selling the property for what I said. If you are taking advice from people not in this business and they're just selling you courses and they have no proof of anything they're actually doing, do yourself a favor and go watch other friends of my YouTubes like Jerry Norton, Max Maxwell, Jamil Damji, Brent Daniels, guys who are actually in the business to teach you what they've already done. So, address is 747 South Mesa Drive in Mesa, Arizona. Right here on a super busy street. This house, which doesn't even have a freaking refrigerator, we're going to make $125,000 net on this property. The purchase price was roughly $100,000. Our renovation, which this was a full reno, guys, a full reno. We'll break that down here in a minute. $76,000. That includes our renovation, our private money lenders, and our hard money lenders, which we're gonna go through those as well. It also includes commission to the real estate agents that we end up selling the house through. My wife is the one that sells the properties for us, and then we pay another agent to bring a buyer to my wife, and we ultimately negotiate. The estimated profit right now, because the property hasn't closed, I'm standing inside of it, the estimated profit is $125,000 in profit. Now, the difference between gross and net is that most people that post checks on social media, you'll see, they'll say, wow, we made $200,000 on this fix and flip. When the reality is, out of that $200,000, they have to pay their lenders back, they have to pay commissions, they have to pay utilities and credit card bills and all sorts of things that allowed them to do that fix and flip in the first place, which ultimately nets out at around $40,000, $50,000. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to make $40,000 or $50,000 on a fix and flip. But this is a property that we are truly netting $125,000 on. And I want to go through this property and tell you guys how we found the house, how we negotiated the house, how you can go do things like this as well, and ultimately the challenges we had along the way. All right, so number one, where did we find the house? We found this house actually driving for dollars, believe it or not. Crazy, but we used an app called batchdriven.com that helps you understand how to get a hold of the seller, how to text the seller, how to call the seller, and how to direct mail the seller, all from one simple app. So if you guys are looking for an app to get into the business, batchdriven.com, and a coupon code, which I think gives you like 50 skip traces for free, which, skip traces getting the information from the seller. The code is 990, link is down below. So one of our team members driving around this neighborhood, and you guys will get a little bit of a sneak peek of this neighborhood coming up, notice this house on the busy street, very obvious. I mean, I'm still looking outside the window right here and I can see trash still on this property. This house was a full renovation, but we did nothing to the landscape. The neighborhood is not the nicest neighborhood, and so those are the best places for you to go drive for dollars, are houses in neighborhoods that are falling apart and need revitalization. So our team member puts the address into the app when they're driving by, and then one of our sales reps reaches out to the seller through text message and submits an offer. The offer was way below what we ended up buying it for, knowing that the seller was wanting to come up. So how we got the deal is we told the seller that we would help them move into another home. So we ended up finding a condo for them to move into and rent. They didn't have the money to buy. They had a mortgage on this house, and so we ended up paying off the mortgage and giving them enough money to move forward. The other wholesalers and the other investors that were reaching out to the seller failed to look for the actual solution for the seller. The seller wasn't willing to move because they were like, I don't know how to afford moving costs. I don't know how I'm gonna afford my deposit on a rental and all those types of things. And I don't know how I'm gonna clean up this property. So the solution we provided to the seller was, hey, we'll find a place for you to live. We'll pay you enough cash to move out of the property for security deposits and all those things, even to buy new furniture, and have cash in your pocket after the transaction is done. And you don't have to worry about renovating or cleaning up the property whatsoever. Most of the people that were hitting this seller up were just saying, here's our lowball offer, and they weren't providing any solutions outside of just buying the home. So let that be a lesson for anybody trying to get into this business, is that you really need to provide a solution to the seller outside of just giving them an offer. Everybody's giving them an offer. So we found the house through Batch Driven. We reached out to the seller, found out their ailments, their issues, and we provided a solution which got us the contract. We ended up getting the property at $100,000. We ended up taking this and opening escrow at a company called Title Alliance of Phoenix. It's who we always use because they do fix and flip transactions. They do traditional transactions, buy and sell with regular real estate agents and all that. Hey, there's Anna right there. So we use Title Alliance of Phoenix because they do fix and flip, they do traditional renovations, they do all sorts of really, really cool things with creative finance, and they allow us to run our business without having to go to multiple title companies to get these types of transactions wrapped up. So Title Alliance of Phoenix, they're really only here in Arizona unless you find a Title Alliance branch in your local area. And if you guys need to find a local branch in your area, please send us an email. My email is pacejmorby@me.com. Send me an email and we'll put you in touch with somebody who can find the right title company for you. Now, we used a company called Constant Close to do all of our transactions. So Rochelle Jarvis at constantclose.com is who did all the paperwork, helped us out, and got the transaction done. Everybody's gonna ask, where did you come up with the money? Well, we came up with the money two different ways: hard money and private money. Everybody's going to say, what's the difference between hard money and private money? And that's the next part of this video. All right, so what's the difference between private money and hard money? It's very simple. Hard money is an institution. It's a bank, or it's a lending company, somebody who is licensed to lend money. And the reason why it's called hard money is because they're lending on a hard asset, something tangible, right? So a home would be something tangible, something you put your hands on. They are lenders who don't base on credit, they base on the asset, which means they look at the house and you go, hey, hard money lender, I'm looking for $100,000 to buy this property so that I can fix and flip it, but I don't have the money. The hard money lender looks at the house as the collateral and not your credit or how much money you have in the bank. So many people, they don't even know that you can just go to Google and go click, 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 type in hard money lender and then your city name, and you will have hundreds of hard money lenders at your disposal. These people don't care about credit, and if they do, they're the wrong lender for you. We fix and flip probably 5 to 7 properties every single month, and not one time does anybody check our credit. They don't even look at our bank balance. They don't look at our job history or anything else. They base their lending on the home itself, knowing that if I default and I do a poor job on the renovation, they're going to take the house back. And because of the price that I bought this home at, which was $100,000, they know that they can turn around and sell it for more money than they gave me a loan for. So of course, I bought the property well under what the market rate was because I solved a seller's problem. That's the benefit of going after distressed or motivated property owners by getting a deeper discount so you can get the money from somebody who won't check your credit, etc. Now that's a hard money lender. Google them. They're everywhere. Hard money lender, your city. A private money lender is just that. It's very literal. It's a private individual. It's somebody who's not a lender, but maybe somebody has $10, $20, $30,000. They might have a 9-to-5 job. A lot of our lenders are doctors, lawyers, nurses, or engineers, people who have excess capital, and they go, I'm too busy with my day job to know what to do with my cash. Can I give you some money? And where their money goes is their money goes to paying for the closing costs. They pay for the utilities. They pay for the construction. They pay for all of the things along the way on a renovation like this property on Mesa Drive. Now this house originally was $41,000 budget. So we borrowed $41,000 for the construction. We borrowed money for the closing costs. We even borrowed money to make the monthly payments to the lender. That's right. we borrow enough money from our lenders to actually pay our lenders their monthly fee. It is crazy how simple it really is. So if somebody says, how much money do you need? We typically say, well, we need 50,000, even though we only need 40 or 45. Then that way we take that 5,000 and we make the monthly payments to that lender while we're renovating the property and we are looking for a buyer on the back end. So hopefully that gives you a good indication of what the difference between hard money is and private money. All right, so what's kind of cool is that Anna, my construction manager, just showed up to the property. So I'm gonna have her break down what the construction looks like and give you guys a couple of tips from her perspective, especially being a woman in the industry, somebody that might not know everything about everything, hopefully to give you guys some encouragement about getting into fixing flipping yourself, or at least real estate investing yourself. Thinking I have to know everything is the wrong way to go. So listen to what Anna has to say about this particular project.
Hi, my name is Anna. I'm the construction manager here for Pace's team. We're here at 747 Mesa Drive, and I want to talk to you about what we did here at this property. So initially, our estimated budget was between 40 to 45. However, when we started the process, we came across a few things. We needed to do a new roof. We also had contemplated about 3 to 4 dumpsters. We ended up using about 5 to 6 dumpsters. This house was a hoarder house when we first bought it, so you can imagine. We actually came across a bonus room, which I'll talk to you about a little later in the list of renovations that we made. But in addition to the roof, we also did all new drywall. We did a brand new, with the bonus room, a walk-in closet. We did all new flooring. As you can see behind me, we did all new kitchen cabinets, all new pretty quartz countertops, new sink, new faucet. We upgraded the hell out of this property. We did all new light fixtures, interior doors, new baseboards. We did a beautiful master walk-in shower. And we also did new vanities. So originally, just to get back to where we were at, originally it was between 40 to 45,000. I mentioned some of the upgrades that we made, but just like in construction, we ran across some issues, and the roof item was a pretty big one, but also the trash. As the guys kept cleaning up and clearing up and opening up walls, we just kept getting accumulation of trash. Also, this property in particular is on a main cross street that happened to have active construction from the city at the same time. So guess what the city construction workers were doing? They were taking their trash and leaving it on our property. So the bill added up. Luckily, the house looks amazing, and we were able to still make this a beautiful renovation. As a construction manager, I just wanted to talk to you guys one-on-one here. It is something that most people are intimidated. They're like, oh my gosh, it's such a big project. How can I do this? Little me can do this. I'm a woman, I'm a single mom. Well, not that single, but I'm a mom of 2. And one of the advantages that I have is that I'm bilingual. So I'm able to communicate with my boss, the team, and I'm also able to communicate with the helpers and the subcontractors, vice versa, the foreman. And so that's a huge advantage. However, some of the challenges as a female and in this industry is that I'm always learning something new. So just because it worked one time does not mean that it's gonna work on the next house. So every house has new surprises. You always think, okay, I got this. And then you learn that, wow, this property doesn't have a gas meter, and this one did, and they're both mobile homes. So it's challenging because you're just learning as you're going. So it's definitely something that you don't need to have all the knowledge, all the construction background in the world. Yes, I do have a bit of an advantage because I have been with Pace for 6+ years, but even with that behind me, I still am learning. I'm still making mistakes and learning from it. So it's not a reason to hold back. Take action. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
All right, so we borrowed the money from a hard money lender. We borrowed the construction money from a private money lender. So we, again, when you hear people saying, I did this renovation with no credit, no money out of my pocket, that's how they're doing it. Sometimes in the past, we used to use our own credit cards, and that was cool. We would be able to pay for the construction with that. But we just find that there's a lot of people that really want to lend their money to us because we do a lot of successful projects. Obviously, this one, $125,000 profit. If we ever defaulted during the renovation process, our lenders could take over. Let's say I get abducted by aliens in the middle of the construction project. What happens to the lenders? Well, the hard money lender knows what they're lending on. They're lending on a real estate fix and flip. And so what they do is they come in, they finish up the renovation, they put it on the market, and they get themselves paid, and the other private money lender gets their money back as well. So they're very secured, especially on an asset like this, a property like this, so that they really don't have a downside unless the market completely crumbles down. That is the only chance that they would lose money on a project like this. So how long does the lender actually give us the money? The lender gives us the money anywhere between 30 to 180 days, depending on how fast the renovation is. Because this was a significant renovation, we actually had this money for over 5 months. That includes purchasing, renovation, and we still have about 45 more days to go until the house closes and we get our check. We've listed the property as of last Friday. Today is Thursday, and the house sold in less than 24 hours. The market conditions right now in 2021 are blazing hot. Blazing hot. Because of COVID, less people are wanting to put their house on the market, and more people are moving into Arizona to depart from places like Oregon and California. And so our real estate market is blazing hot. Now, we sell these houses immediately. This house was originally listed by my wife, Laura Morby, at $300,000. We had so many offers that what ended up happening is we said, you guys need to submit your highest and your best offer. And finally, we got an offer at $320,000. Now, anybody that's experienced in real estate knows that that's actually entering into some really sketchy territory, because there's a possibility that $320,000, when the new buyer comes in, they bring a loan. They go out and get a loan from bank, Chase, Wells Fargo, whatever. And that lender is going to make sure this house is worth $320,000 before they give a loan. So that is called an appraisal. They want to make sure that the property is worth $320,000 before they give that buyer a loan. If it does appraise for $320,000, then that buyer gets all the money sent to my title company, Title Alliance of Phoenix, and then Title Alliance of Phoenix sends that $320,000 to my hard money lender, my private lender, and whatever is left over after commissions all comes to me. So because we didn't use any of our own money on this project, when we get a check at the close of escrow, after all of this is said and done, that check is truly our net profit because of the way we set these projects up. Hopefully that makes sense. And if you have questions about how any of that works, please make a comment down in the comment section, because I do love deep diving on these types of topics. It really does help me to understand where I'm confusing you or I'm not giving you enough information. So make a comment down below. I would truly appreciate it. All right, guys, so that should wrap up the episode all about 747 South Mesa Drive. Yes, we're gonna make $125,000. And again, just to recap, we've done this 3 or 4 times, but I hope you find this helpful. We found this property utilizing batchdriven.com. We negotiated with the seller and solved their problem by utilizing our negotiation skills. We gave them solutions that nobody else was providing. We ended up paying cash for this property for $100,000, and we got that money from a hard money lender, not using any of our own credit. That hard money lender, although they bought the property for us, they did not give us the construction funds. So we went out and got a private money lender, an individual that said, I'll pay for the renovations and I want a small return. So we got private money. We had a budget of $41,000 that ultimately ended up being right around $49,000 when we found out we needed a roof, and we found out a couple of other little things, like we needed extra dumpsters. We needed extra things that we were not planning on. This property ended up being a 5-month project, and right now we're at 3.5 months of the whole project because we've bought the property and renovated it. We've sold the property, but we're now waiting for the buyer to come in and finalize their loan so that we can receive that money. We use Title Alliance of Phoenix in Arizona for all of our transactions. So if you're an Arizona native, definitely give Title Alliance of Phoenix a chance. They're amazing. We love Danielle over there. She's epic. We always use Rochelle Jarvis at Constant Close to do all of our paperwork. Costs a couple $100, but it is incredibly worth it so we can spend more of our time focusing on finding more deals. At the end of the day, guys, this business is all about feeding your conveyor belt with leads, converting those leads into contracts, and ultimately deciding to wholesale, buy and hold them through seller finance or subject to, or ultimately fix and flip those properties. So please, if you guys got some value today, if you have some questions, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and make a comment down below with any questions that you have. I would love if you shared this video with some of your friends, and I would love to know what kind of questions you have for upcoming videos on The Real Deal. Thanks again. We'll see you on the next episode.